episode of For the Seekers of God या शिवानंद वानी। तो हम हाजिर हो गए हैं शिवानंद वानी के साथ। आशा है आप सभी को ये अच्छा लग रहा है, और अगर अच्छा लगता है तो कमेंट करके ज़रूर बताएं और लाइक शेयर करें। उसके साथ साथ सब्सक्राइब का बटन भी ज़रूर दबाएं। तो आइए शुरू करते हैं आज का चैप्टर नंबर 8। चैप्टर नंबर 8 में क्या क्या है, पहले हम उस चीज़ को पढ़ लेते हैं। सो फर्स्ट, दक्षिणेश्वर टेम्पल गार्डन, उसको बागान कहते थे, इसीलिए दक्षिणेश्वर का जो पूरा टेम्पल है या पूरा दक्षिणेश्वर काली मंदिर, उसी के बारे में बात है। इट्स यूनिक होलीनेस, श्री रामकृष्ण's महासमाधि इन द काशीपुर गार्डन। मास्टर्स रेलिक्स, श्री रामकृष्ण के रेलिक्स, उनके रिमेन्स। फाउंडिंग ऑफ द ऑर्डर, द Baranagar monastery, intense austerities of the monks. Places, Belur Monastery, and time is Sunday, March 23rd, 1924. It was Sunday. In the afternoon, many devotees assembled in Swami Shivanand's room at the Belur Mutt. तो ये बेलूर मठ में हमेशा ही शिवानंद जी के रूम में लोग आया करते थे, भक्तजन आया करते थे उनसे मिलने, और वो बड़े ही प्यार से सबसे मिलते थे। He made inquiries about the physical well-being of some and answered the questions of others, but his mind seemed constantly indrawn. About 3 o'clock, a group of devotees came from Dakshineshwar and entered the Swami's room. Seeing them, he appeared beside himself with joy and said, "Come in. Where have you all come from? Kahan se aaye hain aap?" When they had reverently saluted the Swami and taken seats, one devotee said, "We went to Dakshineshwar today. After visiting the temple, we partook of food offered to the mother. The whole day passed in great joy. As we went into the master's room to the Panchavati, groves of 5 trees that is, and the sight of the bale tree, we remembered that these were the very places where the master practiced so many spiritual disciplines. तो सोचिए ऐसी जगह में जाना जहाँ पे भगवान श्री रामकृष्ण ने खुद प्रैक्टिस किया है, अपना साधना की है, अपनी साधना बड़े लगन से की है दुनिया को दिखाने के लिए। ये ऐसी जगह बहुत ही पवित्र होती है। अब महापुरुष महाराज कह रहे हैं, ऑफ कोर्स श्री रामकृष्ण लिव्ड देयर अबाउट 30 years. How many different kinds of spiritual disciplines did he not undergo there? What ecstasy and transcendental realization did he not have? And that room of the master is an insignificant place. I feel Dakshineshwar itself is Varanasi, nothing else. That is why I go there from time to time. तो दक्षिणेश्वर खुद एक छोटा सा क्या है, वाराणसी। वहाँ पे इसीलिए मैं जाता रहता हूँ। As I cannot visit it often, I salute it from here every day. Is there any other place like Dakshineshwar? Even as Varanasi, it doesn't belong to this mundane world. तो ये पूरे इस जगत के डेली सब कुछ के साथ नहीं है, वो अलग जगह है, वो बहुत बड़ा एक तीर्थ स्थान है। Devotee, Maharaj, when was it that you went to Kashipur garden and how did Swami Vivekananda organize the order? We wish very much to hear those incidents from you. Swami Shivananda was silent for a while, as if he were gradually bringing down his consciousness to the outer world. Then he said softly, when the master's throat trouble took a serious turn, he was moved to Kashipur garden in order to facilitate his treatment and nursing. We too gathered there in order to serve him. Later, the master gave up his body there. Devotees, did you realize that the master had actually breathed his last? अब श्री रामकृष्ण की तो समाधि बार बार होती थी, तो क्या आपको ये समझ आया कि वो एकदम से ही शरीर पूरा छोड़ के चले गए हैं? महाराज बोल रहे हैं, नो. एट फर्स्ट none of us realized it was actual death. We thought it was samadhi. For some time, the master used to have such deep samadhi that he would remain in the state for 2 or 3 days at a time. Thinking it was deep samadhi, we started chanting loudly the name of the Lord. The whole night passed in this way without any change in his condition. Next morning, we sent words to Dr. Sharkar. He came and examined the master in detail and said he had given up the body. The doctor found no symptoms of life in it. Dr. Sarkar suggested we have a photograph of master taken, and this we did. At about 2 or 2:30 in the afternoon, the master's body was cremated at the Kasipur cremation ground. Devotee, most probably those were the days of great strain and hardship for all of you. अब hardship था कि नहीं, ये महाराज बताएंगे. Maharaj says, no, we never felt any strain and hardship. In those days, we used to spend our time immersed in a certain mood. We were so absorbed in doing personal service to the master, in practicing meditation and austerities, that most often we had no consciousness of the passing of day and night. दिन रात की भी उनको ध्यान नहीं रहती थी. Those were indeed unique days. After the departure of Sri Ramakrishna, most of the boy disciples, except myself and Swami Adbhutananda, went back home. Though Swamiji too returned home, he used to visit the garden at intervals and was in close touch with us all the time. अब जब कोई हेड चला जाता है, उसके बाद थोड़ा सा डिसइंटीग्रेशन होता है. वही थोड़ा हुआ, सब घर चले गए, पर स्वामी जी ने फिर सबको गैदर किया. The last remains of the master's body were preserved there at the Kasipur garden and were daily worshipped by us. We were still at the garden because, having paid the rent for the month, we could stay there the remaining days. Swamiji and a few of us decided that the relics must be preserved and buried somewhere on the bank of the Ganga, as this has been the master's wish. But we could not find a suitable place. Meanwhile, Ram Babu was arranging to take the relics to his garden house in Kakurgachi. अब राम बाबू चाहते थे कि वो ले जाए. अब देखिए क्या होता है. We all felt very bad, especially at the thought that in such an event of master's wish would not be fulfilled. A message was sent to Balram Babu requesting him to come with an earthen pot. He came at once. That very night, we removed all the bones from the ashes, put them in the earthen jar, sealed it with clay, and sent the jar to Balram Babu's house in Calcutta, where the deity of the family used to be regularly worshipped, and the relics began to be worshipped daily with that. Ram Babu took the remaining ashes to Kakurgachi in the meantime. As we did not tell him anything about our removing the bones from the ashes, He was quite in the dark concerning it. The relics we kept them and are worshipped daily at the monastery here. So आज भी इनकी इनके जो लास्ट रिमेन्स थे श्री रामकृष्ण जी के, वो अभी भी वर्शिप होते हैं वेलूर मठ में. Swamiji brought the casket containing the relics to the monastery ground, carrying it on his head. He used to call it the casket of Atmaram. Atmaram, in other words, one rejoicing in himself. We also call it by the same name. Devotee, did you ever see the master after his death? Swami, the Holy Mother had a vision of the master in Vrindavan. Be that as it may, I too went to Vrindavan in the meantime. Only Swami Adbhutananda and somebody else remained in the Kashipur garden. Swamiji used to go to Balram Babu's house every day and was thinking and discussing with others how to organize us all into the order. One day, unexpectedly, Suresh Babu came there and said to Swamiji, Brother Naren, last night the master appeared before me saying, Suresh, my children are roaming about. What have you done for them? I have been very unhappy since I heard his words. Think and do something. I shall abide by whatever you do. Finding, तो ये स्वामी जी को बोल रहे हैं, तुम सोचो भैया, कुछ सोचो. महाराज, मास्टर मतलब रामकृष्ण जी मेरे सपने में आए थे, तो अब तुम सोचो हम क्या कर सकते हैं. Finding his wish fulfilled in such a strange manner, Swamiji was immeasurably delighted. He said, For some time past, I myself have been thinking about this. Very well, it would be well if we can decide on a house. What do you say? Suresh Babu readily welcomed the idea. They started looking for a house and in Boranagar finally discovered a 2-storied building available for rent at 10 rupees a month. The house was then very old and in the neighborhood had the reputation of being haunted. Bhoot rehta tha. So that it was scrupulously avoided by all. Those who were at the Kashipur garden now moved to this new place in Boranagar. I too came down from Vrindavan. I was just thinking about you. We have rented a place in Boranagar. Let us go there. From that time, we all started living there. In those days, all of us had intense longing for God realization. Spiritual practice, austerity, worship, and study went on uninterruptedly day in and day out. We lost even the sense of hunger and thirst. We used to have kirtan. We would dance and sing the devotional songs. We would have such dancing sometimes that the janitor downstairs would be frightened lest the house collapsed. Caretaker डर जाता था. We were so happy in those days. Thus, we laid the foundation of our order through the practice of spiritual discipline, renunciation, and austerities. So, what are the foundations of the Ramakrishna order? Practice of spiritual discipline, renunciation, and austerity. So these three are the basis of the order. And all the monks live by it. Hope you have enjoyed this episode also. Please do stay tuned to Devakshar and comment and let us know how you are enjoying these episodes. Thank you so much for being with us. Namaskar.